So what do we have at this point?
So at 10 after 10, SPD responded down here for reports of a shooting. Officers arrived and found two gunshot wound victims. They were both 37 years old. The male was transported in stable condition to Harborview, and the female was transported in serious condition to Harborview. According to witnesses and evidence here at the scene, it appears that this was a drive-by shooting. The suspects fled in a car. We did have officers search the area, but did not locate them. And at this time, it doesn't appear that it was that the suspects and the victim didn't know each other. But of course, this is an ongoing and active investigation, so our detectives will be working to figure that out.
So two victims, male and female, both 37 years old. Conditions one more time?
The male was transported in stable condition, and the female was transported in serious condition.
How about description, suspect and vehicle?
Until the detectives go over this, I'm not going to release any suspect vehicle descriptions. I will say that it was described as an SUV at this point, but until the detectives get the case themselves, I'm going to let them decide what information they'd like to be released.
And were the two victims like a couple or together?
The victims knew each other, yes, they were together.
And were they in a crowd, or were they just kind of walking on their own?
I'm not totally sure. My understanding is that they were just walking, not surrounded by many other people.
Is there an active search for a shooter right now, or is somebody in custody?
We do not have a suspect in custody at this time.
What was the scene like down here when this happened? I mean, were there a lot of people out for Halloween, or what do you understand of what it was like down here?
I'm not sure. I know Alki is always busy for the most part to a certain extent, although it is getting into fall and winter, so it's a little chillier. I think there's less people. I couldn't really say the number of people that were down here, but obviously any shooting that happens in a heavily populated area, there's always a greater risk for more injuries. Anybody else?
Any suspect description? I know you already kind of answered this. Any suspect description? Any ongoing threat to the public?
Right, we do believe that they left in a vehicle, and it was described as an SUV, and I'm not going to put out anything further until the detectives get a chance to look at the case and they decide what information they'd like to release. At this point, we don't have any additional reports of gunfire or anyone shooting from a vehicle, so I would say that at this point, no.
Do you have any reports of how many bullets were fired? There seem to be a lot of shells on the street there.
Yes, there are. We've collected several casings already. I heard an officer say at least 10 or 12 that we've recovered, but I'm guessing it's going to probably end up being more than that.